Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Recently, we've been reacting to old school Verdansk gameplay in preparation of it returning here in season 3 for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. We looked at various different things, some nostalgic, just classic Warzone 1 gameplay. We've looked at some classic metas. Today, I wanted to look at something that we just don't really see much of anymore in Warzone. I mean, I'll let the intro sequence speak for itself here. Today, we are reacting and looking back on one of the most impactful events in Warzone history, the destruction of Verdansk. This is something we just haven't seen much of in Warzone in recent years. Pretty much since the Caldera era, nice rhyme, we just don't really see these massive events in game anymore. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but these were one of the most phenomenal elements of Warzone 1, where something major was going to happen in game. Very Fortnite-esque. They sort of popularized this theme of doing massive in-game events, having everyone jump on to experience it live at the same time. We saw several things throughout Warzone 1. This, obviously, the destruction of Verdansk. We saw the last hours of Verdansk LTM. We saw various in-game reveals, like for Black Ops Cold War, where we all had to run to the stadium and do all of that. We saw reveals for Vanguard, where we had to fight the train and all the fighter jets were flying through the sky. In Caldera, we had massive events as well, more so themed around LTMs, where we had Kong versus Godzilla and things of that nature. And then unfortunately, as time went on, we got into Modern Warfare 2 with Warzone 2. Those events kind of dried up. I mean, we get like the Halloween events every now and then that are a little bit different, but beyond that, there's nothing on this scale, which seems a little backwards to me, given how successful these were, how awesome and fun they were as well. But this is the destruction of Verdansk. So everyone drops in and we are approaching the end of Verdansk. Now, this was back at the end of Modern Warfare 2019. So obviously we still led into Verdansk 84, a completely redesigned and different version of Verdansk. But this is a very interesting event, and still to this day, one of my favorites. And as we can see, there's a bunch of crossed out names. This was in the time leading up where we had all these various different teasers on the map itself, different Easter eggs going on with the contamination levels. So on a week-to-week basis or like a bi-weekly basis, can't remember exactly, we'd have various different places become infected and overrun by zombies. So like TV station would be crossed out, or prison would be crossed out, or whatever the case is, right? And that led up to this event here, the first part of the destruction of Verdansk. Of course, I would start it out smashing into a tree off spawn. This just, you can't escape these moments, right? We went right for the Bertha though. Lazy and I playing some duos on one of the final matches on Verdansk. I remember, oh man, every time I look back at this, I just miss the Warzone 1 driving mechanics. I'm not sure exactly which video or which day this video is going live, but we've seen various trailers already showing off like the little bird and stuff. I hope they bring back the classic Warzone 1 vehicles and everything. Lazy's got his too, so we're double Berthaing it up. And of course, he would run right into me with the train coming. So we've got the train. The stadium roof was open when we were flying over that. As we saw with this LTM too, that got the pop-up, there's Juggernaut armor inbound as well. This was one of the crazier LTMs. Still to this day, one of my favorites as well for like modes and events. Like the last hours of Verdansk was cool. The part 2 of this on Rebirth, where you actually fight to launch the nuke that takes out Verdansk, was really cool. And I know y'all remember this. This just brought back some nostalgia. The contamination protocol alerts. These are what I was just talking about, where for weeks on end, we'd see these updates randomly come out as we were playing on a week-to-week basis, and it'd say, oh, protocol level is this, and the train station or the TV station has been overrun, and the percentage just kept getting higher and higher and higher. So we started at 10%. Nothing too crazy. And then there's zombies everywhere. There's zombies falling out of the sky here, or players falling out of the sky. It is zombies, because this was kind of like the haunting of Verdansk LTM. If you get taken out, you come back as a zombie and as an infected, and you're overrunning the entire Verdansk map. I wish we got back to seeing more things like this. Large-scale, community-driven events here. We got the Jug armor down in the middle of the airfield, which is chaos. Everyone's got vehicles in this mode. I mean, look at the mini-map, bro. I'm in a Bertha. Lazy's in a Bertha. There's an ATV, a second Bertha, another Bertha even beyond that. Good grief. This was something else, man. Like, it completely takes away what you'd expect from a usual match of Warzone. You're not running Battle Royale. You're not running Resurgence. You're running whatever the ridiculous LTM is, fighting for jug suits or fighting for positioning so you can make it in-game and try and be the team that survives it all or whatever the case is, right? As we can see, the entire damn area up here when I flashed that on the minimap, already completely infected, so you can't go there. This was just such a cool dynamic and really like the first major thing of this kind for Warzone, if I remember correctly. Like, yes, we had crazy LTMs like BR200 or the Haunting of Verdansk and stuff. Walking just right into the infected. Nice, man. Is it? No, it's because we got gas masks. I was like, is it not hurting me? It's just, of course, lazy. So nope, you're staying in there. You can never get anything by this guy. But this was like one of these first major things where it's like, oh, Warzone's taking that approach of the Fortnite style stuff where they have these crazy in-game events. Still, nothing's really come close to the scale that Fortnite can do. I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong might be the closest thing to that in terms of the scale that Fortnite does, where they have mech robots and guys fighting like crazy huge creatures and stuff coming out, or ice monsters coming out of Polar Peak and stuff like that back in the day. But I like the fact that Call of Duty tried to play into that, because community events and stuff like this, these very much so fear of missing out based events, you want to be online, you want to witness it for yourself. They're really cool when done right, and I think Call of Duty did several very neat ones of this. Obviously, this gameplay is very different from all the other ones that we've reacted to as well, in the sense that we're more so playing into this event, not going out and hunting 20 kills or using the meta loadout or whatever. We're sitting here trying to make sure we make it to the end of this match in 6 minutes and 40 seconds so we can see what happens at the end of these games, right? Where no one really knew what was gonna happen, right? We had leaks, we had rumors and various things going on there, but it's like, they say Verdansk is gonna get destroyed, but it's the first part. Is this gonna end on a cliffhanger? You know, what's the vibes here? How exactly is it gonna play out? And obviously we're gonna see. If you weren't around playing Warzone in this time, because obviously there's tons and tons of new players here on this game now who didn't get to play OG Verdansk, which is gonna be really interesting to see when it obviously comes back here in season 3, what those players think of the map. You know, this wasn't something that they got to experience. Maybe you haven't seen what happens here with the destruction of Verdansk. Maybe you haven't, you know, been around for the lore of this map where it was all infected. This is just what we were doing back in the day, I guess. Just having Berthas and having them, you know, get very intimate. I forget how short this match was. I feel like it used to be like a 20-minute thing, but it's really like not that long at all. We're already 5 minutes away from it happening. Oh, this poor guy is getting Bertha bullied. Again, I missed the Warzone 1 vehicles. Was the Bertha a little overpowered? Probably, because it was super easy to steer and drive. Yes. Was it also incredibly fun? Yes, absolutely. And it seems like everyone in this match had the same idea. I wish we would have gone for those jug armors, but then obviously we probably would have shown up on the radar the whole time when we're just trying to play it safe. The zone is like constantly coming in too. Oh, I remember the LTMs like that as well, where it was like the zone starts and it never stops all the way until the end of the match, where it was like BR constant or whatever it was called, right? That's something that Warzone just misses now. The LTMs, the crazy events like this, those are things that they need to bring back. They add some personality, they add some flavor, if you will, to Warzone. They make it multi-dimensional, whereas now it's just not that. It's very straightforward. It's always Battle Royale, it's always Resurgence, it's always Plunder, and not much else. There was a zombie running around. We're not too concerned with that, though. Poor Lazy down here is just getting lit up by everything. There's choppers in the air, too. Is that what's going on there? Wait a second, this guy, I was gonna say, I don't remember you being able to ride on Berthas. Every time I ever touched one or tried to jump on one, I splatted and got blown up. Uh-oh, Lazy's down. Does that mean he got sniped? Oh no, he's in the back of his. He probably just got the same thing that happened to him as that zombie. Nice one, Zach. I try and save him and I push us both forward. Just the most clutch plays always. Oh, and they can disable them too, can't they? They got the little EMP thing. Uh-oh, we're going out. And we timed that perfectly, of course, right? Match is coming down to a close. Exfil's incoming, and then we sold center of the airfield. 98%, does that say? 100% that it has die on it. And of course, we come back as the zombies now. Look at the mini map, bro. There's like 40 zombies up in this close little area. There's one jug going crazy. What? He's probably at the top of the ATC. That's actually a genius way to play this LTM. You look back at it, you're just like, I should have done that. That would have been so smart. Instead, we were ramming Berthas in the middle of the airfield for 10 minutes, right? Everyone knows though, you're not getting up there. They got claymores and stuff down there. Everyone's posted up with the jug suit watching over. Can zombies attack? I didn't realize zombies could attack each other. I forgot that was a thing too. Everyone's going after each other now. They know there's no point They're jumping out. They're getting away from the zone. There's only 7 humans up too. 85 zombies and 7 humans is insane. Could you imagine that in Warzone now? It'd be so fun. We got that Juggernaut right in front of us too. Such a cool LTM, bro. Jugs versus tens and tens of zombies, bro. You got the minigun and there's just 40 zombies sprinting at you. But then we got the DEF CON nuke inbound. So this was the nuke in Warzone before there were nukes in Warzone, right? Where you could earn them by getting win streaks and stuff. This was a full-on nuke launching. And then we get this cutscene where we see the infection fully spread, reach imminent, it's initiated, and then we launch the Verdansk nuke. The missile is inbound. You see it launch from the actual silos that we had on the map as well that we got to explore. There was all the lore behind that, so it's all connected. And this thing launches out. We don't get cutscenes like this in Warzone anymore either. The missile's flying through. We pass Superstore right for the stadium. And kaboom. It goes down. And what's crazy is that this is how part 1 of this event concluded. Obviously, we then shifted over to Rebirth the next day. And then we got to launch that nuke for ourselves and drop into Verdansk 84. But what an event this was, where we had never really seen anything on this scale before. I'm going to mute it in the video for you guys, but there's about 42 different voices screaming in my ears from the post-game chat right now. And I'm pretty sure you also got a little reward for doing this Containment Protocol calling card. So only the players who participated in this event got this. Of course, now you can't access it because they deleted it all with Warzone 2. But such a cool event, such a cool concept that, like I said, went on for a few years during MW 2019, Cold War, Vanguard. But then unfortunately, they really went away from this. And I wish this was the direction they went back to in the future, because this stuff was awesome in my opinion. That said, that's gonna wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, if you missed the events like this, be sure to drop a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you're in the know for everything going on in COD, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.